Monday Night Raw, June 16th, we are in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We open with Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio. Liv addresses her confrontation with Nikki Bella from last time before calling out Io Sky for a championship rematch. Io comes out and basically tells Liv, why don't you do everybody a favor and shut your mouth, all you do is complain. In which then Liv essentially says, why don't you just make it easy for yourself and hand me the title, because I know you're scared. Io hands her the title, and then dropkicks her. Next, we had the women's fatal four-way. First, we had Vaquer, then we had Ivy Nile come out with Chad Gable. It was commercial break, so Chad cut a quick promo for some cheap heel heat, basically. Then we go backstage with Raquel. Liv instructs her to go out there and win tonight, so that afterwards they can go ahead and take care of Kyrie and Io. So Raquel makes her entrance, and her new music is actually pretty good, I think. But then the lights dim, and the Kabuki masks come up on screen. Asuka is back, and they're using her old theme. They were playing I Am the Future. I was so hyped. Theme goes hard. Outfit goes hard. I was going to say something else goes hard, but that's not even PG. We got Devil's Kisses for everybody else in the room. You're not better than me. Rhea Ripley came out, too. What do you got to say there? Want to talk goons? We can talk goons. Let's talk. I'm a sophisticated gentleman. I don't know what you are. Anyways, my Empress hit the cleanest front dropkick from the turnbuckle when Raquel had the other two up in tower position. You should have seen it. We got a little bit of a tease for some Asuka versus Vaquer. That's pretty cool. But the most important thing of the night is that Asuka won the match. But yeah, that was a very good episode of Raw. It's Tyzik Thunder, and you ain't ready for the storm. So next was supposed to be Gunther to come out, but they sent out the New Day to cut a commercial break promo. Xavier looking like a pimp. Random thought, if New Day feuded with the Street Profits at this point in time, I think I'm siding with the New Day. But basically they cut a fake babyface promo announcing that they're going to be defending their tag titles, but not in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Judgment Day segment. Liv giving Raquel shit for losing and being too beat up to follow through with the rest of the plan when it comes to going after Kyrie and Io. McDonough has to fight AJ Styles tonight. Finn wants to be in his corner, but Dominic basically orders him to stay back and hold down the fort, like motherfuckers about to show up and start squatting or something. And then he got manipulating ass Finn, trying to support Raquel to low-key try and turn her against Liv because Finn has it out for Liv and is trying to push her out the group. But next we got Gunther. We re-celebrating the B title, recapping current events that led us to here. You know what this guy said? He said, at WrestleMania, Jey Uso was the better man for one night. But every single other night, I was untouchable. So then he calls out Seth Rollins because he's got the briefcase, but then Goldberg comes out in a t-shirt. It was weird. Saturday night's main event. You're next. JD McDonough versus AJ Styles. AJ wins, and then proceeds to steal Dominic's championship. Bayley talking about getting robbed of a tag team title opportunity. Becky talking about I'm a heel because you people. Anyways, Team Bayley. Moving on. Next, we had a Jey Uso pre-match interview in which Jey Uso tried to claim that the score between him and Gunther is 1-1. Kyrie versus Liv is next. But first, we cut backstage. And it's unfortunate, but AJ Styles had to relinquish his title. Bayley versus Becky next week for the IC women's title. But now back to the match, Liv versus Kairi Sane. And after one move, it's over. So this must have been some kind of like freak accident because Kairi just did like a regular takedown. It was like a leg pick sort of thing. And then Liv landed exactly how you would have expected her to land. But I guess maybe she kind of landed on her elbow weird and like, I don't know if she dislocated something or what, but that was it. That was the end of the match. She got walked out and everything. But now I'm curious as to what the real ending was supposed to be because Kairi beat her last time, I think. So I don't know if she was going to win again or if she was supposed to lose this time but then had to win. I guess we'll never know. Sami Zayn backstage interview, but it gets hijacked by Karrion Kross. Let me tell you about Karrion. I had Karrion scouted when everybody else was on here hating him. I'm talking months ago when he was just being booked as a complete loser, just wasting everybody's time, which arguably you could still kind of say that's where he's at. But the point is, I saw the vision, I saw the potential, even through the trash booking. Now he's popping up in interviews and he's getting a pop through the arena. And you know what caused the switch up? That one promo he cut online. I forget whose podcast or show it was, but people got to see what Karrion Kross could be when it comes to promo work, and on top of that, he was speaking facts. But yeah, now more people like him, because he had basically his own pipe bomb, if you want to look at it that way. Now they just have to book him properly, which they still haven't. It doesn't matter how good you are. If you're not chosen, you don't get to fly. Whether it's Karrion, whether it's LA Knight, whether it's Finn Balor. But hey, it could be worse. You could be Jey Uso, Rikishi's son. I heard he gets 0 opportunities. But speaking of opportunities, we got the Fatal 4-Way. Mystery Man Jey Uso is now in your city. Yeet. Rusev Day. Fella. I'm war ready. I'm battle tested. Bronson gets a near fall after a tsunami on Sheamus, but Jay breaks it up. Hits a spear on Bronson and goes up for the Uso splash. But it's cutscene time because Braun Breaker shows up with the interference and pushes him off the top. But wait, here comes Sami Zayn. They scrap until Braun basically wins the exchange, but then Penta shows up and takes him out. We back in the ring and Bronson hits a Death Valley driver on Jay. He climbs up top to go for the tsunami. But the cutscene isn't over because LA Knight shows up and pushes him off the top. Jay hits another spear, Uso splash, climbs up again. Uso splash for the second time. 1, 2, 3. They really needed Sammy, Penta, and LA Knight just to deal with mostly Braun. So Seth comes out when it doesn't matter anymore. And before he can even do anything, we get Cody's music. Like, what the hell? Get saved, son. So then they stare at each other and then the show ends. Cody versus Jay for the semifinals of the tournament. Welcome back, Empress. Good night.